How to overcome life struggles. So, anyone over 30 can relate that life is a struggle. And the point of struggle is to learn our lessons here on earth. And you can pretty much agree that what has happened after your hardship is usually something better than you planned. Example, just a couple days ago, I learned that this one business that I'm in only pays every 60 days, and they've been very difficult in dealing with. And so I changed businesses. In this new business, they pay weekly instead of every 60 days. And so that was a tremendous relief. And I'm very excited about the program. So that right there is a little change. But, I was pretty upset for a whole day. I had to change my, one of my websites completely around to, change my links to this new business, and it was a headache. And anyways, long story short, most of my problems in my life have led to better opportunities that I never saw before. And so here's the thing. On TV, they show commercials of people vacationing, just relaxing on the beach, having a drink, enjoying the sunset, whatever. And there's this perception that retirement is when life really happens. That's when you can really have fun. And so we stay on this hamster wheel. We work two jobs. We're, working our butt off 14 hours a day just to, try to save up for this time when we can relax. And that's completely lopsided because God wants us to learn our lessons. He wants us to learn how to love one another. He wants us to gain wisdom. He wants us to have a better life than we ever imagined. And that usually hurts our ego because it's outside of our plans. If we get on God's time, everything will line up. But there's going to be a lot of ego death. There's going to be a lot of friction because there's going to be a tug of war between God's plans and your plans. And when you can finally just let go and let God's plan unfold, then you're going to get more than you ever dreamed about if you don't commit suicide and crash and burn. So all of these life lessons are actually the best part of life because people think that they're supposed to just have the American dream. They're supposed to just make passive income. They're supposed to get the hottest spouse and the biggest house and the best cars. But in reality, the best part of life are those hard lessons because that refines you, makes you a better Christian. It gives you insight, it gives you wisdom, it gives you patience, it gives you forgiveness, it gives you more love and compassion. The other thing that God has given me is compassion towards people that are overweight. I used to judge people that were overweight when I was a skinny 20-year-old, okay? But when I hit 45, 48, 49, I I just cannot lose weight for the life of me. And now I'm waddling around the house. My knees hurt, my back hurts. I do not look at all like I used to just 10 years ago. And that is a wake up call, and it's given me a lot of wisdom, and it's given me a lot of compassion for people that are overweight because I know now personally how hard it is to lose weight. So that was a tremendous life lesson. Another stupid one was, I hated RVs when I was 20 because I just wanted to hitchhike across America and be the great wanderer. The Beat Generation influenced me to be a poet, drink wine under the stars, and hitchhike. And now I want an RV because I want comfort. I want to see America in a comfortable vehicle, and I want to live in an RV. So my life has done a 180. Pretty much everything I hated or thought I hated in my 20s, I'm now starting to embrace. And the biggest one of all was, I was a rebel, and I despised God for a certain time. I despised my parents for a certain period of time, and now I love both. I love God. I believe in God. I believe that He is my Father, my ultimate Father, and I made amends with my parents. I absolutely put all of my energy into hating my parents at one time. And now, over the years, I've made several amends to them, crying my eyes out. Please, Dad, forgive me. And they're like, oh, yeah, we forgave you years ago. It's okay. And I'm like, wow, okay. So here's one more story. Last night, I've been watching TV. I don't normally watch TV, but I was watching Court Cam, and this black guy was on the stand. He was doing the victim panel, victim statement, because someone had murdered his brother. The murderer was in the courtroom, and he was on stand. And most people would say, "I hate you. You took my brother's life." Um, and then lunge at them, I'm gonna kill you like you killed my brother, whatever, right? Just go into rage. But this guy was a very strong Christian, and he looked at the killer across the courtroom and said, I forgive you, and I really hope that you turn your life around. I really want the best for you. Can I? And then he looked to the judge and he was like, can I go over and hug them? And I've never heard anything like that. And then I was like, whoa. This is before I knew he was a Christian. I was like, he must be a Christian. And the last thing he said was, I want to, love you like Jesus would, or something like that. And I was just blown away. I've never seen anything like that, because most of us, we want to fight fire with fire. And that's pretty much 90% of the problems of this world, are people that are angry and they want to seek revenge because they had a bad childhood. They want to get the world back because they were hurt when they were growing up. And a good example is Axl Rose. I watched another show about Axl Rose last night, and the lead singer of Guns N' Roses, and he had a horrible childhood, horrible dad. It wasn't even his real dad. He found out that it was his stepdad when he was 17. So he felt betrayed and all this stuff, but he had to act out all this anger on stage, and he used to tear up hotel rooms and stages, and he had to act it all out before he finally seeked out God and spirituality and stuff like that. But a lot of us are playing out our pain from childhood. And if we started living the principles of the Bible, which is to completely forgive people, even our enemies, the ultimate goal is to love our enemies. And that's absolutely insane when you hear that for the first time. But as you seek God more and become a stronger Christian, and mature with the Bible, you find out that that is the ultimate goal, is to love your enemies. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and love them. And if we all lived that principle on this planet, it would literally be heaven on earth. Everything would make sense. We wouldn't be fighting fire with fire. We wouldn't be hurting people because we hurt. All of that vicious cycle would just cease to live, to keep going. So I hope this message helps someone out there. If it does, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. God bless you. It does get better, but realize that life is not supposed to be a vacation. Life is a struggle. And once we embrace struggle, then we can do anything, because I'm not saying just give up because life is a struggle. I'm saying embrace struggle and actually make that your fire inside of you, and not in a bad way. Use it as a motivator and open your mind and your heart and say, okay, God, what is the lesson in this? I'm struggling right now. What is the lesson in this? because there is a lot of wisdom in struggle. There is not a lot of wisdom sitting on the beach with a margarita. And that's all I got to say. Love you guys.